Hey, what's up, high levelers? In this video, we're going to learn how to use the service calendars to streamline and automate the booking process for any business using GoHighLevel. For this video, I'm going to take an example of an automotive detailing business, and our goal is to minimize the friction for customers in order to book and reduce the dependability on the front desk or the reception. So let's take a quick look at this diagram right here that explains the structure of an automotive detailing business. So this business right here has a couple of bays. One is for repairs and one is for detailing, and under these different bays they're offering different services. Then this business also has some staff members, and of course not all of them will be equipped to do, let's say, paint correction. So there's going to be different staff members for each type of service, and then based on the service they're providing, they might also need some inventory. Like we have the paint protection films for sedans or paint protection films for SUVs. So this inventory will come in play when they're doing car apps for their customers, right? Now our goal is to give a one-stop solution for our customers. For example, if a customer wants to book paint correction, the system should be able to check if the bay 1 is available, as well as the person who will be doing the paint correction, and then give the slots based on the availability. So with this context in mind, let's jump into GoHighLevel and build this setup. All right, so I'm in my GoHighLevel sub account, and the first thing we have to do is head over to settings, and then we are going to add our staff members. Now this is where you'll add all the staff members that will be working inside the business. As you can see, I have already added 3. If you want to add some more for your business, you can click on add employee, add in the details and their email, and then choose their role, and then hit save. Once you do that, it will automatically create an account for them and send them an email that they can use to log in. Once we have the staff members added, then we are going to click on calendars right here, and then we're going to head over to equipments. So we'll go in the following order to save the maximum time. So firstly, we're going to create some equipment. So let's just click here. Now from our example earlier, you can see that we had these 2 inventory. So I'm going to add them for now. The first one we have is the PPF or paint protection film for sedans. Then I'm going to add a quantity of 10. And then you can also list the out of service quantity. Let's say if you're left with 2, you want to show out of service just so you do not miscommit. And then I'm going to hit create. In a similar way, let's create the other one as well. So I'm going to add the same quantity right here and then hit create. Then let's head over to rooms, and then we're going to create a room here. Now this is what we call bay 1. And as you can see from our example, this is going to be for repairs. So we can mention repairs and braces. And under total capacity, this is what you have to enter, like how many cars can you handle under bay 1. So let's say there's a space of 3 cars. We can mention the total capacity to be 3 at any given time, and then hit create here. And in a similar fashion, we're going to create bay 2 as well. And this would be for detailing. And then I'm also going to add a capacity for it. Don't worry about the calendars. We can add this later on very easily. So once this is done, let's hit create here. So far, we've successfully added the staff members, the inventory, as well as the base. And the only thing we are left with is the services. Now, before we start creating calendars, we have to make a group so we can group all of the services calendars together. So let's click on this button right here. I'm going to call it Automotive Detailing, and then just give it a slug and hit create. Then let's head over to calendars, and we're going to create a new calendar right here. From the scheduling type, we're going to choose service calendar. The first one we're going to set up is paint correction. So let's just add that here. Then we're going to select the staff members that are equipped to handle paint correction. So only going to choose the ones that can do that. So let's say Sam is the person doing that. We're going to select that. And then under custom URL, you can choose a custom one that you want, and then add in the service duration. So let's say it take like 60 minutes. You can choose to do that. And then we're going to click on advanced settings. Once you get to this point, just scroll down, and under group, you have to select the automotive detailing. That is the group that we had set up. With that selected, let's head over to availability. And here you can customize some more settings about the availability. And then you can also add in forms or payments if you need to. Then we have the notification settings where you can notify contacts or the staff members as well. And then you can customize this calendar to make it look nice, like adding images for the services to make it look really nice and professional. Just as an example, I've selected this image for paint correction. And then we're going to head over to room and equipment. Now, as you see, it will give you an option to select a room as well as the equipment that will be used for this service calendar. So as we know that bay 1 is where this service will be happening. So we're going to check mark that. And then under equipments, we do not have any equipment that will basically go with it. So we do not have to select any equipment right now. For now, we're going to go with the room and then hit save. And with that being done, our first service calendar will be set up. And now we're going to create the service calendars for all these different services that we have listed here. I'll show you one more example for car apps. So let's actually go ahead and set up a calendar for that. We're going to follow the same protocol, add in the name, then select the relevant staff members that will be taking care of this, add in the custom URL, select the duration, then head over to advanced settings. And then you can customize availability, forms, notifications, all of those bits, add in the cover image, and the most important part, which is the rooms and equipments. And then we'll be selecting bay 2, which is detailing. As you can see that this service was performed under bay 2. So once we get that selected, And then we'll also select an equipment for this calendar because as you can see, we'll have a stock of PPFs or paint protection films, which will be used in car wrapping or protection. So that's why we have to select an equipment from here. Now, if you're doing it for multiple kinds of cars like SUVs, sedans, and all of that, then what you can do is you can create multiple calendars for it. So this can be only for SUVs, and then you can only select SUVs for that. And then you can duplicate this calendar and then select the equipment as PPF for sedan, and then you can customize the name for that. So that's why you can have different kind of services and just make sure that the right kind of inventory is being tracked for that specific service. Once you're done, just hit save and this calendar will be saved. In this case, you can see that there's no group assigned to this. And if you want to do that afterwards, you do not have to edit again. You can easily do that by going to these three dots, clicking on move to group, and then use the automotive detailing, and then just click select, and that will move this calendar to the group that we want. So once you have all the service calendars set up that we had in this example, we're going to head over to groups right here and then click on these three dots and copy the scheduling link. And when we open it, it will look something like this. Now you can see that if you chose nice images, it will look really nice and professional on the calendar side. Now this group scheduling link, what it allows you to do is give an option to the customers to book a single service from your business. So let's say if somebody's interested in car wash, they can select that. They will select the staff member that is available. You can of course have multiple staff members, which I showed you can choose in the calendar setup, and then they can choose a time and it's pretty standard from there. But if you want to give an option to the customers where they can add multiple services at the same time, then you will have to set up a service menu. And in order to do that, we'll have to head over here and then click on add new service menu. Now you can give it a name. I'm just going to go with a random one right here, then choose a slug and then change the URL. And then you can also customize the form because by default, it can only ask for their first name, last name, and this contact information. But if you want to add a customized form, you can also do that from here. A really good example of that would be a form where you ask for this basic information. Plus, you also ask for what car they have and what are their expectations regarding the service. So you can also change that right here. And if you scroll down, it will also give you some additional options. So let's say you want to enable the add guest feature, which allows, let's say a customer wants to bring a friend who is also wanting a service from your business. You can enable that. And then you can also enable multiple service selection. That is one of the most key points for the service menu. And then you can also enable staff selection. But let's say if you don't want to enable this and you want that when they pick a service, it automatically checks which staff is available for that service, you can disable it and it will take care of that. Then on the left side, we're going to click on services. And then here you can actually choose the service that you want to enlist in the menus. So you can choose from all the service calendars that we had set up. And if you want to select all of them, just click here. Now, a good example of taking this one step further would be that you create a new group for another kind of services that you offer. Maybe you are into buying and selling cars as well. So you can set up a new group for that and set up a service calendar for that. And then once you go to arrange your services, you can easily switch their order. Once you're satisfied, just hit save and we should have our service menu developed. Now, all we have to do is click on the action dropdown, copy the permanent or the scheduling link. And once it opens, it will look something like this. Now you can see the basic difference between the group link. Here, we only had an option to choose one service at a time. And in the service menu, you can see we are allowed to book multiple services. So an example would be, let's say somebody's car was in an accident, so they would definitely be booking a dent removal. So let's just say just me for now. Then they can also add more services. So let's say I also want to add paint correction. And then after that, I also want a car wash. So these three services will be combined right here. It will give me a total duration based on the service that I've selected. And then once I click on continue and hit confirm and then find the available slot. So let's say I'm booking for this date and this time, I can hit continue right here. And then here I have to add my information. And on the right, you can see all the services that I'm choosing. And once you're satisfied, just click on schedule appointment and it will book that appointment for the customer. And at the end, it will give you the summary again of the services that you have chosen. This can be really helpful for brick and mortar businesses that are really busy, and you can help them by creating such a system. And on top of it, you can create automations to notify people, send in appointment reminders, and make sure you get your business streamlined and ready to be scaled to the next level.